Greetings, humans. Welcome back to the Black Pill. Today's topic is how to lie. How to be a good liar? How to lie. Um, I'm a terrible liar. I'm awful at lying. I don't think that having this knowledge will make very many people better at lying. My hope is that by framing it this way, some like signs and symptoms of lying will become more evident to you. That you will be a better, slightly better, no one's great, slightly better lie detector by knowing about these things. You'll be more suspicious, which is probably good. So, item one, believe what you say. I mean, if you believe what you say, you're not really lying. Um, believe in what you say. So your subconscious gives you away when you don't believe what you're saying. You do a thing that Virginia Satir called meta communication, where like your affect, your body posture, and so forth don't match up with the words that you're saying, and that's it's detectable. Not like on Lie to Me, no one can do that and be a human lie detector, but it's detectable and it'll give people like a weird feeling that they need an explanation for. But if you believe what you're saying and if your subconscious is on board, you won't give off those signs. So a regular person can perhaps not believe the things they're saying are true, but believe the things they're saying are important, right? And believe it's for the best or believe it's true in a sense. In a sense. So Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan in episode 4, Obi-Wan tells Luke that Darth Vader betrayed and murdered his father. And then you find out in episode 5 that actually, no, I am your father, like that. And then there's a confrontation, Luke and Obi-Wan's ghost in Jedi in episode 6. And Luke's like, what the hell, man? And Obi-Wan is like, well, when Anakin turned to the dark side, the man that he was destroyed, and and he became Darth Vader. And so what I told you was true from a certain point of view, like that. Um, he believes it. He believes that this was a betrayal, and so he can say it, even though it's not strictly true. Okay, item 2. Empathy's a killer, man. Empathy's a killer. I could never sell insurance because I don't believe in it. I don't, I'd always have this pressure to pressure customers into buying more insurance than they need, and that makes you a great salesman and you get awards and stuff. But I would always be thinking about the harm done by just taking people's money for products or services they don't actually need, and I could never flourish in that profession. To be a good liar, if you have no conscience, then you're very efficacious, very efficacious. No tells. Speak positively as much as possible. Say good, upbeat things. The more that you're doing negatives, the more people start to become suspicious. Relax or appear to relax. Honest people swear. Yeah, honest people swear. Why? Well, because swearing's so commonplace, especially now in 2002-3, that it takes an effort not to swear. The person who's not using obscene or bad language or whatever is editing their speech. So there's a thing they could say, and they're stopping and changing the thing that they're going to say and making it more intentional. And if someone's just riffing and talking from the chest, they're not editing their speech and they're more likely to use so-called curse words. So there's that. When you're editing your speech, when you're deciding what to say, then also at some level you're deciding your body posture. It shows up in tension. It shows up in a certain bodily inauthenticity. And so if you can relax, uncontrol posture, paradoxically, it's a bit more believable. Next item, give more detail. Yeah, like I went to the moon. What was it like? We had a bad time and came home. No, I went to the moon and the surface was like nothing you've ever seen before. The regolith got at all the machinery, right? Detail, 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 make stuff believable. Um, so that means you have to plan all of your backstops. You have to have a story, you have to memorize that story so that when people ask you questions about details, you either have those details really readily or the scene that you've painted for yourself is so rich that you can see those details in the scene and you don't have to stop and think about them and conjure them up. Next, direct personal accounts. I was there. I saw X thing happen. We shouldn't, but people flourish on personal testimony, right? Anecdotal evidence is the weakest form of evidence. People might be liars or they might have misperceived something or misremembered something, whatever. But we're just evolved to give a great amount of credence to people who say they saw a thing. That's just, for millennia. Um, the best information we had about anything was go and ask the oldest member of your tribe, and they're the most likely to have that information. And so personal testimony is just like it's built into us for that to be super heavy. It shouldn't be, but it is. That's evolution, man. Next item: respond quickly. Develop a talent for glibness, for improvisation. But also, if you plan all the details in advance, you don't have to fall back on being glib. But if you're glib, there's a detail you missed, you can cover it over. In Robert Hare's study of psychopathy, uh, I can't come up with the title of that book right now. I'll try and remember to link it though. Um, oh, yeah, Without Conscience: The Dangerous World of Psychopaths Among Us. He notes, right, he talks to a bunch of victims of psychopaths, and he notes that um, psychopaths make a lot of speech errors. They'll use a word that doesn't fit in a sentence, a lot of weird word choice errors. I was driving down the road and my turn signal was out. Turn single? And for some reason, the people they're talking to don't catch up on don't catch those word usage errors. They don't pick up on them or criticize them. It just flows over them. The person's so charming and glib that those little errors that, maybe they would add up over time. And if you listen to a recording, if you showed someone tape, right, they would tend to catch those. But in the moment, they just wash over. And so if you can develop that sort of charisma where you're really engaging and glib and off the cuff and affable, people will believe anything you say, no matter how bullcrap it is. Um, and lastly, if you can talk at length, the more you talk, the less people have an opportunity to interject questions. So, I mean, this is some of the liar's dividend. It's like when Trump is going on and he does like four lies in one sentence and then turns around and does four lies in the next sentence. It's impossible to keep up with all of those lies. So he just gets to go on and on and on and on and like choose the argument we're going to have next. If you can talk at length and talk in a normal tone of voice, you can be very convincing, even if what you're saying is just completely, the world is flat and pineapples good on pizza and stuff like that. Um, People who are lying have a way of tension getting into their larynx. And again, nobody's so good at detecting it or this alone that they can go, that person's lying. Their voice went up half a register. But it can all add up to like a general feeling of unease, not to where someone would call someone a liar, but where someone would have a vague sense that something's out of place and maybe start checking up on stories before making a deal. So if you can consciously speak in a lower tone, so a little bit softer, but drop, half a register, uh, which will counteract the tendency to raise half a register. That could be a tell, man. If you're at the poker table habitually or something, that could be a tell. But for a one-time lie, um, like that. Good. And this has been How to Lie with the Black Pill. Have yourself a lovely day.